Hi, and welcome back to Full Time. Today we'll be covering proper cutting techniques and platforms. The platform is quite literally the foundation of scenic design and theatrical sets. Whether it be dance, theater, or music recitals, the platform comes in various sizes, shapes, and designs as needed by the performance. In order to build a platform, you'll need 2x4s and plywood. 2x4s generally come in lengths of 8 foot, 12 foot, or 16 foot. Occasionally, lumber providers will offer what are called 2x4 studs. This means they're only 7 foot, 9 inches long in order to aid construction crews in the quick creation of stud walls for houses and buildings. For our purposes, we will avoid using these 2x4s. Once you've created a cut list,
you are now ready to begin marking and measuring your lumber in preparation for your cuts. Remember to frequently check back with your cut list.
Personally, I prefer using the compound miter saw. If you don't have a compound miter saw, a radial arm saw will do the job.
It is imperative when marking your cuts to measure accurately and multiple times. Once you make the cut, you are stuck with the new length. The key here is to remember a time-tested jingle that any carpenter can recite. Measure twice, cut once. Trust me, it will save you time, money, and frustration. When you are sure your mark is correct, draw a large X on the waist end of the board and write the measurement on the end you wish to keep. To set up your cut, flush the 2x4 with the cutting rail. With your finger off the trigger, bring the blade down to line up the cut. The blade's width should come out of the waist end of the board. Don your safety goggles and make sure your fingers and thumb are running parallel and out of the cutting zone. Then, slowly, firmly, make your cut. The rail, in this case the 4-foot board, will cap the ends of the platform. Note, the actual dimension of a 2x4 is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Thus, to maintain an overall length of 8 feet, the stiles are 7 foot 9 inches in this case, to compensate for the width of the rails and will run the length of the platform. Finally, the toggles, which are 3 foot 9 inches here, will span the width of the platform, holding the stiles square. Pre-drilling is necessary to avoid splitting the wood. Set the rail and stile on edge in the shape of an L. With the stile ending in the rail, use 3-inch screws to fasten them together. Making sure there is no gap at the joint between the rail and stile, use a framing square to ensure you're off to a good start. Continue to work your way around the frame, taking time to check that the corners are square, flush, and solid. Be careful to differentiate your rails and toggles as they will always be similar in length. With only 3 inches difference, that's the combined width of the two stiles, it is easy to work quickly and mistake a toggle and a rail. In the end, you will find a mistaken board will really hinder your process. When you are certain that the perimeter frame is ready to go, begin installing the toggles. On an 8-foot platform, I use 3 to ensure the payload is evenly distributed. Each toggle in this case is centered every 2 feet down the length of the platform. Use 3-inch screws to fasten them in place. Once in, the toggle should be perfectly square, otherwise you are soon to run into problems. This is a great benchmark point for your handiwork. To attach the decking, in this case plywood, to the platform, we will follow a strategy known as racking. With the 3/4 inch or 5/8 inch plywood on top, begin by flushing one corner on both sides. Drive one screw to fasten the corner in place. The screw should be roughly double the width of your plywood. Next, move down the rail and do the same thing. Move now to the 3rd corner, down the stile, and repeat the process. When you arrive at the 4th corner, it should be square, assuming your frame's dimensions are correct. To fasten the decking to the entire frame, move from one corner to the next, placing one screw every 6 to 8 inches. Do this around the entire frame and across the toggles. In order to hit the toggles accurately, one can use a chalk line or a straight edge. If your stiles are bowed, a pipe clamp can typically set you right relatively easily.
After legging the platform, you'll have created a unit that is responsible for providing varying levels for the performers to utilize. If built correctly, this platform will be repairable and usable for many years to come and will enhance the viewing experience of a vast and diverse set of audiences. Tune in next time when we discuss how to build a flat, and until then, take care of yourselves.